Hey Bob, how you doing?
Oh, it's going pretty well. How about yourself?
So it looks like your last change shifted the Firefox logo 1 pixel to the right.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It won't happen again.
You know, we really don't want to change the UI unless we have a good reason to.
Yeah, my bad, I'm sorry.
You know, this is a serious issue. We want to present a consistent user experience.
Yeah, I'll be much more careful next time.
So I'm going to need you to find that change real quick, alright?
I'll get right on that.
So how long do you think that'll take?
Well, there is a tool that lets
Yeah,
you...
well, we're in a real rush here, so if you could fix that immediately, that'd be great.
Right, the improvements to the tool should make it much faster to find the error.
Keep in mind that this is a really small change, so it'll be really hard to see. I'll just put a really small mark on your next performance report, okay?
But the tool is able to catch even small changes.
Mozilla is a global organization dedicated to improving the internet for everyone, founded in 1998 by members of Netscape. Mozilla believes that the internet is a key component of modern life, a source of education, communication, and collaboration. Mozilla is known for Firefox, an open-source web browser used by millions of people around the world. The Firefox Screenshots Testing Suite is a quality assurance tool that reduces the number of visual changes inadvertently introduced into Firefox's user interface. When a developer at Mozilla is working on visual components of Firefox, the tool captures screenshots of the Firefox browser. They can compare the current screenshots to older versions to scan for any changes. The developer can then see a report that shows specifically where changes were found. Any visual changes will be highlighted in red for the developer to easily see. Our improvements to the Firefox Screenshots Testing Suite have reduced the amount of storage space needed to archive screenshots of older versions, reduced the frequency with which developers are alerted because of unrelated changes, and have added testing of a broader sample of Firefox's user interface. There are 3 overarching features of this project that we've built on, or improved, we'd like to define now. First, we added a number of configurations. Each configuration specifies how the browser looks before a screenshot is taken. For example, one configuration opens 5 tabs and many tabs, and takes a screenshot of each case. Another configuration changes the theme of Firefox to normal, dark, light, compact light, and compact dark, and takes a screenshot for each theme. Second, we added cropping functionality. Previously, when a screenshot was taken, the entire browser window was captured. With cropping, a configuration can specify a particular region or regions to focus on. Let's take a look at the tabs configuration again, but this time with cropping. The screenshots are captured in the same way, but now the areas outside of the specified region are removed. Third, we improve the output of the tool, but more on that later. Here's Bob, a developer working on a new Firefox feature. He doesn't think his changes will affect any visual elements, but he wants to make sure. Instead of manually checking every part of the user interface, Bob decides to use the Firefox Screenshots Testing Suite. First, he uses the tool to do some quick tests on his computer. He starts the tool from the command line. The test opens a new Firefox window, takes control of the user interface, and begins taking screenshots. These screenshots are then cropped and saved on Bob's computer. Bob now runs another tool to compare these fresh screenshots with archived screenshots of the user interface before he made any changes. He was right. No visual changes were detected. Bob continues working. Once he finishes his work, he decides to use the Firefox Screenshots Testing Suite once more to be sure there are no mistakes. Bob runs the tool in the same way. He gets his screenshots and compares them with the same archive version as before. This time, Bob did make changes to the user interface. Here you can see the archive screenshot, the new screenshot, and a pixel-by-pixel comparison of the two, with the difference highlighted in red. Bob fixes his code and is ready to submit his patch to Mozilla's codebase. Before doing so, he wants to run the Firefox Screenshots Testing Suite, but wants to test on Windows, Linux, and Mac instead of only on his computer. To do so, he requests to run the tool on Mozilla's automated testing servers. Once this finishes, he notices that the screenshots were successfully captured on Mac and Linux, but encountered errors on Windows. Previously, the tool could be unpredictable. When some errors were encountered, the tool could freeze or crash without providing helpful information. Now, with our improved output from the tool, other parts of Mozilla's testing infrastructure can better interpret results of the tool and more clearly present them to the developers. Sometime later, Bob wants the Firefox Screenshots testing suite to be able to cover a new user interface feature. To accomplish this, Bob adds a new configuration file, which is a simple JavaScript module. Each configuration has one or more sub-configurations, each of which manipulates the browser into a different state via the apply config function. Additionally, sub-configurations specify elements to crop to using CSS selectors. In conclusion, our project is comprised of three main features: new configurations, automated cropping, and improved tool output. With more configurations, developers can test a more varied sample of the browser user interface. This helps ensure that no visual bugs of the user interface go unnoticed, even in less visited areas of the browser. By having the ability to compare regions of the browser through cropping, instead of the entire browser itself, Mozilla developers can confidently use the testing tool without worrying about false positives. If the developer gets alerted that the screenshot comparison test has failed, they will know it's important. The new and improved output of the tests helps developers quickly interpret results of the tool, as well as identify errors with predictable behavior. Additionally, the output has been standardized to be able to communicate with other testing tools that a Firefox developer is likely to use. At the beginning of the semester, we were given the task to take the Firefox Screenshots testing suite from a Tier 3 tool to a Tier 2 tool. We are happy to announce that the Firefox Screenshots testing suite has been elevated to a Tier 1 tool, which implies a higher internal priority at Mozilla, as well as more exposure to a larger number of developers. At this time, we'd like to thank the following: Michigan State University, Dr. Wayne Dykeson for running the Capstone program and all the tough love, James Mariani for being an excellent TA throughout the project, and our clients Mike Conley and Jared Wine for mentoring us throughout the project and for showing us that true development comes from the heart.